Yo, what is going on, guys? Today I wanted to do a video about the update that just went to the test server. It's a 1.5 gigabyte update, a pretty good sized update, and it's actually bringing in Preseason 7 along with all the things I'm going to talk about, and it should be on live before Thanksgiving according to Anthony Castoro. He said pre-Thanksgiving on Twitter is when it's going to go. So 23rd is Thanksgiving. You know, we got at most 12 days, but you know, it'll probably be within probably sometime next week. But getting into what they changed, they rolled back the recoil penalty on the AR that was present on the last build. Now, if you had played the test server in the deathmatch before this went live, they had the AR really messed up. After the first 5 shots, it didn't reset properly, and it actually was on purpose. It wasn't a bug, and a lot of people got really angry with that, so they removed that pretty quick. I don't know what they were thinking when they did that, like 5 shots, and then you don't know where your bullets are going, so they really messed up there. But they also made it to where players can now enter vehicles that are moving slowly. You have a lot of issues right now in H1 of, you know, your teammate pulls up to you, he's barely rolling, but you can't get into the vehicle. That wasn't how it used to be, and now they've changed it back. They also changed throwables. They made grenades and mollies and stuff break windows now, so they can be thrown through windows. I don't think that's a huge issue because a lot of gunfights don't happen like through windows, at least in my opinion. You know, there's not a lot of house fights that go on, so I don't think it's that much of an issue, but it is nice that that does happen now. That way you don't have to shoot out the window in order to do it. They also added the skull store items, changed the skull store, you know, all the things I talked about the other day, the daily challenges, the new items. They added the new crate items. If you want to go check those out, you can go into the test and then you can equip them. Well, not equip them, you know, because they aren't actually yours, but you know what I mean. You know, you can look at them. They also updated the deathmatch that you're seeing right now, you know, the combat zone as they decided to call it. Made it to where the colors are a lot more vibrant. You know, they're trying to get that Preseason 3 look down pat, and if you are thinking my gameplay and this is pretty bad, I have issues with the test server. I don't know why, but when I record in my res, my 1600 by 1080 res, I cannot record, like it messes up the recording, so I have to record in 1920 when I play, and I suck at 1920. I can't see people, and everybody's like so skinny. I don't know. It just doesn't work for me, so ignore the you know, my potato moments in the gameplay. Also, something that is not in the patch notes that they talked about on Twitter, it's not in these patch notes anyway, it may have been in a previous patch note that I missed, you know, just a little Reddit post or something, but they made the gas a lot faster in the solos and duos and fives, you know, just in the regular, you know, play. They made it to where the gas moves a lot quicker, that way games go a lot quicker. I don't know how much they changed it by. That is something I'm looking into doing a video about, how much they changed it on the test versus live. You know on live, when the first wave of gas before it starts, I think it takes it 5 minutes to start, and then it's like 3 minutes, and then 2, and then 2, and then 1. I don't know, something like that. I don't know exactly how it goes. I would have to go onto the live and then see how fast they go, and then go into the test and see how fast they go and compare them side by side. But they did change those. Anthony said it's a lot faster now and makes games go a lot faster. I know your average game on live right now takes about 25 to 30 minutes, so hopefully, you know, 15 to 20 is what we're looking for on the test. I'm not sure how fast it goes, but that would be nice. You know, a 15 to 20 minute game would be a lot nicer than 25 to 35 minute game, you know. It also says here that the group members will no longer get stuck in a queue if the leader queues while one or more group members are in an unready state. So if your teammate hasn't exited the game yet, I guess you won't get put into a queue, but I don't know if it'll put you into a game and then they'll go straight into a game after they get actually out of their game. I don't really know how it'll work, but that is good that you won't get stuck in a queue, because that is a lot of issues when playing fives. You know, people have slower PCs than the leader does, and the leader gets out and then hits play, and then there's 2 or 3 of them that still aren't out, and then they get stuck, and it's just a bad time. Another thing that they have talked about on Twitter, and I do not see it in these patch notes here, there's no talk about it. They said they made the survivor backpacks a bit smaller and made leather satchels now visually distinguishable from plain satchels, but they didn't talk about it in this patch note. I have seen it on Twitter. They're making the clothes render in a lot, like completely, I don't know if it's completely as far as you can see someone, but they did make it a lot more longer render distance, and seeing clothes will render in a lot more. So like your green ghillie suit laying in a green bush, maybe, you know, you can actually blend in now, because as of now, you know, it's always been this way. You render in as a black just body when you're at a distance, no matter what clothes you're wearing, you just render in as a black outline and like a full black body. So it is kind of annoying, you know. So making your clothes, you know, I guess that'll kind of make people stop wearing brighter clothing, and maybe people will go towards the camouflage green, you know, to blend in. But who knows, you know, a lot of people, they don't really care if they blend in or not. You know, they just take gunfights as soon as they see someone, so either way, they ain't going to worry about it. But other than that, there's not much else to this. There's a lot of patch notes about, you know, bug fixes, you know, all this stuff about regular arrows don't do excessive damage to vehicles, lots of bug fixes related to the daily challenges. Stun grenade effects will no longer be canceled by exposure to a second stun grenade. One shot from an SMG now brings makeshifts to 16% condition instead of fully breaking them. Fuel tanks now detonate if hit by a Molotov or flaming arrow. Explosive arrows now properly break destructible objects and glass doors. Reticle no longer moves slightly when punching. Fixed an issue, made Twitch counts fail to properly link. You know, all this stuff I'll have linked in the description, but it is a lot of bug fixes, and it should be out, like I said, sometime next week, I would assume. It's before Thanksgiving, so, you know, before the 23rd, this will be out, and I am going to do a video about that gas. I'm excited about to see how fast the games will go now, and make sure to go down if you haven't already entered. That should be ending this week. I'm doing a Showdown AR giveaway, so if you want to go enter that, then be sure to go check that out down in the description below with the Gleam link, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.